Welcome to What's Next. Imagine two places on Earth. One is a city glowing with lights, skyscrapers, endless movement. The other is a quiet village, barely lit at night, struggling to meet basic needs. Here's the big question. Does using more energy automatically make a country richer or happier? In the previous video, we saw how energy shaped human history, but today we're going deeper. Today we're answering a controversial question that challenges a common belief. Why do some countries consume less energy yet enjoy a higher quality of life? And why do others burn massive amounts of energy without real prosperity? To understand this, we need to dissect what I call the golden triangle: energy, population, and wealth. Let's start with wealth. One of the first concepts introduced in the book Energy Systems Engineering is GDP, or Gross Domestic Product. Think of an entire country as one giant factory. Everything it produces in a year, from bread and cars to medical services and education, has a monetary value. Add all of that up and you get GDP. Sounds simple, right? But here's where it gets tricky. A dollar is not the same everywhere. $1 in the United States does not buy the same things as $1 in India. In Delhi, $1 might get you a full meal, but in New York, it might barely get you a piece of gum. That's why engineers and economists use something called purchasing power parity, or PPP. PPP allows us to compare countries more fairly, based on what money can actually buy in each place. Take a look at this data. The gap is staggering. According to the latest data when this study was recorded, the wealth per person in Myanmar was about $5,000 annually, while in Luxembourg it was $128,000. That's a 25-fold difference. And energy use follows the same pattern. An average person in Qatar consumes 71 times more energy than someone in Bangladesh. So far, it seems obvious. More energy, more wealth. But wait. Now, we arrive at the most important graph in this chapter, figure 1-2. On the horizontal axis, we have energy consumption per person. On the vertical axis, GDP per capita. At first glance, the pattern is clear. As energy consumption increases, income increases too, a strong upward trend. But look closer. Some countries don't follow the rule. Oil-rich countries like Bahrain or Russia sit outside the main trend. They consume or produce massive amounts of energy, but that energy doesn't always translate into proportional industrial output or widespread prosperity. And then there's an even more interesting mystery: Japan and Canada. Both are wealthy countries, with GDP per capita above $30,000, but Canadians consume almost twice as much energy as Japanese citizens. Why? The answer is surprisingly simple. Canada is huge, cold, and spread out. Heating and transportation demand enormous amounts of energy. Japan, on the other hand, is dense, compact, and technologically optimized. It does more with less. This is the key insight. Smart energy use matters more than high energy use. But wealth alone doesn't tell the full story. Money isn't everything. That's why in 1990, the United Nations introduced a new measure called the Human Development Index, or HDI. HDI ranges from 0 to 1. The closer a country is to 1, the higher its overall quality of life, and the happier the society. HDI is built from 3 components: life expectancy, how long people live; education, how knowledgeable and skilled people are; income, how much people earn. So we can say HDI is a health, knowledge, and wealth indicator. Together, they paint a much more human picture of development. Now, for my fellow engineers watching, here is where things get technical. The book introduces 4 key formulas to calculate HDI. The first one is the Life Expectancy Index. Here, LE is the average life expectancy. If a country has an average lifespan of 85 years, it scores a perfect 1. The second and third formulas calculate the Education Index, based on adult literacy and enrollment in schools and universities. The fourth formula is the income index. Notice the logarithm, but why logs? Because increasing income from $1,000 to $2,000 dramatically changes someone's life. But increasing income from $300,000 to $301,000 barely makes a difference. Now, let's look at figure 1-3, one of the most important graphs in the entire book. This graph plots HDI versus energy consumption per capita, and it delivers a powerful moral message. At low energy levels, increases in energy dramatically improve quality of life. But after a certain point, around 100 gigajoules per person, the curve flattens. More energy doesn't mean more happiness. Zimbabwe, with very low energy consumption, has a low HDI of around 0.49. But Canada and Bahrain both have very high HDI values, above 0.85, even though their energy consumption levels are vastly different. The conclusion is clear. Energy is essential for development and welfare. But beyond a certain threshold, more consumption becomes waste, not progress. It doesn't make people happier, it just burdens the system. So let's wrap this up. Today, we learned that energy and wealth are connected, but the relationship is not perfect. GDP alone is not enough to measure success. Health and education matter just as much. And efficiency, not excess, is the real key to sustainable prosperity. In the next video, we'll tackle an even bigger challenge: population growth. Can the Earth survive if everyone consumes energy like Canadians do? Subscribe, turn on notifications, and stay tuned. Until next time, keep your energy flowing.